Goals. We all have them, some big, some small. But regardless of their size, most of us need to learn to communicate them in some way or another, depending on the scenario that we're in. But this couldn't be more true when talking about the professional space. So in this video, we'll be looking at the 12 English language expressions for goal setting that you'll need as a professional. Let's get started. Now, before we jump into the 12 English language expressions for goal setting, I want to talk about some vital vocabulary that you'll need to get started. So, the word itself, goal. Now, when talking about your goal, you could use some alternative vocabulary such as aim, target, or mission. For example, my mission for this year is to run 10 kilometers every day. As well as these three useful synonyms for goal, aim, target, and mission, there are also another two words that are vitally important to remember when talking about goal setting. These two nouns are timeline and deadline. So, two examples here. We have a 6-week timeline in order to achieve our target. And now for deadline. The deadline for this target is 6 weeks from now. Both of these nouns very useful, especially when it comes to goal setting, so get familiar with them and get them used. Right, let's move on. So now we've looked at some of the nouns that are associated with goal setting, let's take a closer look at the verbs that are used in relation to setting goals in business English. So firstly, and rather obviously given the name of this video, is to set goals. We set goals in English. For example, I will set a goal to run 10 kilometers every day. And once we have set our goal, we now must do something towards it. In this case, we must work towards it. For example, I will work towards my goal of running 10 kilometers a day by going to the gym or going to the athletics track every night during the week. And some alternative ways of saying to work towards something are, we can hustle towards something, or we can grind towards something. Now, these two expressions speak to a slightly more intensive way of working towards something. They're also slightly informal as well, so for formal conversations, perhaps don't talk about grinding or hustling towards your mission, target, or aim. Stick to working towards. So, after grinding and hustling our way towards our goal, what do we say when we actually get there? We get to our goal. We achieve our goals. We reach our goals. We hit our goals. And if you're feeling really excited, we smash our goals. However, on the odd occasion, we may not be so fortunate and actually achieve our goal. So what do we say in this instance? Well, we miss our target or miss our goal. In this case, we just have to hustle a little harder. So now we have looked at the vitally important verbs and nouns surrounding goal setting. Let's now take it up a level and look at the 12 English language expressions for goal setting. So first up, let's look at some expressions you can use when beginning your goals. First up is to set out to do something. To set out to do something. This means that you start trying to do something. For example, I'm going to set out to run 10 kilometers every day for the year of 2023. Let's see how that goes. Secondly, best foot forward. If you put your best foot forward, you attempt a task or a challenge with vigor, with enthusiasm and determination. For example, although my goals are fairly sizable in nature, I'm going to put my best foot forward and see what I can do. Thirdly, number one priority. If something or someone is your number one priority, they receive or it receives your utmost attention and energy. For example, Buying new running trainers this week is my number one priority. Number 4, to put a plan together. Now this simply means to plan something. For example, in order not to seriously hurt myself running 10 kilometers every day, I'll have to put a bit of a maintenance plan together for my equipment and myself. Number 5, to work away at something. Now, if you work away at something, it means that you continue and persist working on something. For example, my language goals are very ambitious for this year, but I know if I keep working away at them, I will be successful. Okay, now that we've looked at a few expressions for beginning our goal setting, let's look at some expressions for when the going gets tough, as in it's getting a little difficult. Number 6, to come down to the wire. Now this means that the result is not obvious or known until the very end. For example, the deadline is so tight that it's going to come down to the wire with this latest project. Number 7, to rise to the challenge. Now be careful here, it is rise, not raise. To rise to the challenge means to respond to a difficult situation in a way where you pursue success. For example, although my goal of running 10 kilometers every single day may be ambitious, I'm going to rise to the challenge and get it done. Number 8, to push the envelope. Now this is a very corporate expression and you will hear it a lot in the professional space. If you push the envelope, it means that you approach or exceed the limits of what's possible. For example, with this short timeline, we're really going to have to push the envelope in order to achieve the aim with this task. Number 9, to push yourself. Now, if you push yourself, you accept a difficult task and you undertake it. For example, I know many professionals will be pushing themselves this year to achieve their ambitious goals. To push yourself. Number 10, to go the extra mile. Now, you will hear this a lot in the professional space, and it means to make a special effort on something. For example, I'm really going to have to go the extra mile in order to smash my goals this year. And finally, a couple of expressions for when things don't quite go your way, just in case. Number 11, to come up short. Now, if you come up short on something like a goal or a task, it means you fail to reach or achieve that task or standard. For example, due to lack of resources, we came up short with the project last year. And number 12, to fall short on something. Now, if you fall short on something, you fail to meet an expectation or standard. For example, I don't want to fall short of my own expectations this year, so I must stick to my plan. So there we have it. They are the 12 English language expressions for goal setting. Let me know which ones you'll be using to smash your goals this year. See you next time.